Welcome to this exciting session on revolutionizing education through drone technology. First of all, I would like to thanks WICCI NAC, Lynn, and IWPA for this opportunity. My name is Alina Usmani, and I am thrilled to be here to discuss how drones are transforming education and creating new opportunities for students and for professionals alike. But before we delve into this topic, let me introduce myself. I'm an aerospace engineer and a DGCA certified remote pilot and founders for Drones for Her, which is a wing of IWPA. I also lead business development and sales for defense and government drone solutions at Dronacharya Aerial Innovations Limited, which is the first publicly limited drone company in India. So through my work, I am committed to promoting STEM educations, women empowerment, and career opportunities in UAV industry. About IWPA and drones wing, drones for her, as it what we call, is a wing of under IWPA, which is International Women Professionals in Aviation and Aerospace, which has been fostering women's in aviation since 1967. And our goal is to bring together females professionals specializing in unmanned aerial systems, promoting gender diversity and inclusivity in this rapidly evolving field. Imagine a classroom where learning is no longer confined to textbooks, where students are not just reading about technology, but flying it, programming it, and solving real world problems with it. As IWPA Drones for Her, our vision is to create a dynamic space that empowers and inspire female drone professionals. Our mission is to equip the next generation of female drone experts with opportunities, with mentorship, and a strong industry network to thrive in the drone sector. So next time any young girl thinks about something out of the box to be an engineer, to be an astronaut, or to be something in the emerging technologies, she should have a role models to look up to. So today we are going to explore how drone technology is not just transforming industries, but also empowering the way we teach, we learn, and prepare for the future. So everybody keeps hearing India to be a global drone industry, global drone hub by 2030. We live in an era where technology is advancing at an unprecedented pace. But the big question is, are our educational institutes keeping it up? If we see, the World Economic Forum predicts that 65% of today's children and school going children will work in a job that doesn't even exist yet. So, how do we prepare them? The answer lies in innovation, hands on learning, and emerging technologies like drones. Now, some of you might be wondering why drones? Why, not just focus on artificial intelligence or coding or robotics? So, let me tell you, drones combine all these fields into one. They require knowledge of programming, physics, artificial intelligence, and even aerodynamics. They encourage students to think like engineers, data scientists, and problem solvers, all while being very incredibly fun to use and operate. So let's just think beyond fun. Drones are already revolutionizing industries such as agriculture, logistics, construction, defense, disaster management. So why shouldn't we introduce them into classrooms to prepare the next generation for these fields, right? So if we see, these are imagine a world where machines are flying above us. They are mapping, they are inspecting, they are delivering, even protecting us. Drones are no longer just gadgets for hobbyists. They are changing the way industries operate. From agriculture to defense, from disaster responses to infrastructure development, they are transforming the world around us. Now, if you see, farmers are, currently no longer plowing the fields. They are becoming tech driven decision makers. Can you believe that drones can now monitor crops, the health monitoring of crops, soil, and even they spray fertilizer and insecticides on the crops, so that there is a less risk for the farmers to go into the field and get used to those pesticides and fertilizer which are not good for health. And what if I tell you that drones are helping save planets? In forest department, drones are doing incredible work to protect wildlife, such as monitoring animal activities, wildlife activities, tracking animals, and situations like poaching and smuggling. Everything, drones are doing its best job to, providing a smart forestry, precision agriculture, you tell, and drones are there. Now, think about how cities are expanding. Roads, bridges, building. How do we ensure they are built efficiently and safely? Drones are playing very massive role in urban development. Before even any building is started construction, drones are there to make the 3D model of the site. They are once the construction start and then it ends. Monitor all the activities from one point to other point till the building is ready. So next time if you see a drone flying over a construction site, know that it is shaping the future of your city. Now, if you imagine a natural disaster strikes, flood, earthquake, or wildfire, what is the first thing we need? Information. And drones deliver that. Whether it is our borders, our national defenses, counter-terrorism activities, drones are becoming essential too. So we keep hearing, right? Drones are no the protectors in the sky. No, they are the shields protecting us. So let's just come back to, you know, what exactly do students gain from learning with drones? Let's just break it down. We have problem solving. They study, it's just providing the proper STEM skills. It's always come with creativity, innovation, and fun of learning. And obviously, career readiness. They make you ready for the future. So what are the skills needed? Do you know, even if you are just 10th pass, you can still be a drone pilot just with the 10th pass certificate and with the nationality and, proper understanding of English language, you can be a drone pilot. There's one example at Dronacharya where I work. There was a vada pav seller who used to come, sometimes for giving us the vada pav for snack in the evening. So he was very curious about drones, and he took up the drone pilot training course. And soon after training for 5-day course, he got the license. And then he was more curious and he went for instructor license, and now he is working somewhere in Bangalore in some flying school and currently earning maybe uh somewhere around 70-80K, and he's now a properly fully trained drone instructor. So uh, drones are already being used in some of the most best educational institute programs worldwide. But imagine if every school had a drone lab, how much more engaged and future ready students would be. Of course, learning how to fly a drone is not just about fun, it's also about safety and compliances and professional opportunities. So that's why training programs and certifications are very important. In India, for example, DGCA, that is Director General of Civil Aviation, they regulate all kind of drone operations. So if you want to own a drone, if you want to fly a drone, if you want to be a pilot, if you want to manufacture a drone, anything, you have to go to DGCA Drone Directorate. And without proper training, students or any professional may not be fully able to utilize these technologies in the professional world. So institutions that invest in drone technologies are not just offering an extra co-curricular activities, but as a career building tool. These are the few market ready skills any institute or any education institute should invest in, because just about teaching students how to build a drone or how to fly a drone will not suffice, because you have to definitely understand, any student in upcoming future have to be industry ready. You know how to build a drone, how to fly, but what if you don't know what to do with the data which you capture from the drone? Then it's of no use case. Money comes with not building or flying. Money comes with uh, use case and application. That's why you need to understand what to do with the data you acquire from the drone in any of the scenarios. So then you talk about maybe people asking why are there jobs in the country? Definitely. With over 1 lakh jobs currently available in India alone, drones have the potential to redefine industries. Our past civil aviation minister, Shindya sir, quoted that we need 1 lakh drone pilots by 2030. And currently we have few thousands only trained in India. So there's a huge gap which needs to be filled. And the awareness is still very little. If you go to some tear down cities, people still feel okay, drone is like a very new concept, and maybe they have seen that in a wedding, as a wedding photography. That is the minimum knowledge they have. These are the few job opportunities which are currently demanding in India or worldwide. If you take DGCA pilot license, you can get associated with any drone company or any industrial companies. Then we have trainers for GIS data analysis, repair and maintenance, coders, cinematography, and many more. So now let's get practical. How can educational institutes start integrating drone into their curriculum? By taking these steps, schools and universities can prepare students for industries that are evolving rapidly. Integrating drones into education helps students gain that hands-on experience in STEM field, and then develop that creativity and problem solving and critical thinking skills, and then explore the opportunities in the highly demanding side of industry like GIS and agriculture and defense. Currently these are the sectors which are using maximum drone technology, because defense, you don't need any kind of restrictions operating even beyond visual line of sight. So the majority of the market cap currently are coming from defense. Then there are few restrictions in India for operating for agriculture or industrial wise, like mapping or agriculture. They're still restricted to visual line of sight. But as soon, slowly and gradually, the BVOLOS regulations come in. There is a UTM policy comes in, unmanned traffic management. There is a separate whole new packet of market space opening, where we can see drone completing last mile deliveries like Zomato, Swiggy, Flipkart, Myntra. What more? What now? So how do we implement drone labs and training programs in the curriculum in the education institute? First thing, via drone lab, which is like which is a more of inculcated package of drones, assembly kits, and simulator, which is have a theoretical experience, simulator experience, and flying experience, which can give a full hands-on drone piloting, building, and maintenance overview of drone. Then curriculum integration, I feel is very like a need of an hour right now, because remember the times when we were very young and we had that computer and IT subject as in our primary education, and we were very fascinated by that particular subject, computers, and used to get excited about every time we had a computer lab. So I feel now it's a time when there should be a separate subject in primary education itself, which not just talks about drones, but emerging technologies as a whole. Artificial intelligence, robotics, drone, nanotechnology. That's how the idea about drones can penetrate from this level to that level. And curriculum integration can also give students to take up these subjects, and if they have a credit based scoring, they can even get scores and good grades. This is somewhere rewarding as well. That can can be a game changer. Then training and certifications. So preparing students for industry career is very important. uh, Remember how the times when we used to have calculus and differential equations, and we used to think what where all we going to use these in our future, because once we start working for corporate, all we do is Excel and PowerPoint presentations. So obviously we have to understand it's not just about having that core knowledge. You have to make students industry ready, and that comes with proper certification and training programs, which comes with management as well as for all inculcated. Then competition and hackathon. Obviously, it's a new technology, and maybe the need to motivate students definitely comes with such kind of competitions and hackathons at international level, global level, or national level, which can motivate students with reward giving, and it's just encouraging. So this one thing very challenging, which is setting up these drone labs and training programs requires investment. And this is where CSR initiative and government supports can play a huge role. So if institutes and parents as a whole maybe recognize the potential of drones in education, they can support schools in setting up labs, providing training, encourage their children to take up such courses, and even sponsoring students to take professional drone courses. And definitely what I have been hoping for, looking forward to, is the revamp of education policy, which is definitely now required at this time. So it's not just about technology, it's about collaboration between education, industry, and policymakers to make drone learning accessible to all. Investing in drone education means preparing for a technologically advanced tomorrow. And as our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji said, we are entering an era where continuous reskilling, upskilling will be essential for career growth. So I want to leave you with this thought. Education should not just be about knowledge. It should be about experience and innovation. It should be fun and curious. Students should have that curiosity, you know, and drones offer an incredible opportunity to engage students, prepare them for the future, and create real world impact. So let's work together to make drone education accessible to all. And thank you. And I love to hear your thoughts and any questions you have.
Yeah, Alina, can I ask you a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I just wanted to know, you spoke very correctly about this integration with industry and education. What has
Right.
been your experience? Is there some industry support and some educational institutions that have already started supporting this in India? Can
Yes.
you
So
throw some
industry
light on
support
that?
industry support as an industry can be a good subject matter expertise, but institutes should have that. Currently wherever we go for such kind of proposals where we want to integrate such kind of drone curriculum and training into education institute, the first thing comes in, maybe let's have a workshop, or a credit sorry a 1 day workshop or 1 day training program, and let's have a industrial visit kind of thing. People are not too much focusing on it because it's not still as a part of their education policy. So even students or education institute as a whole consider this as an extracurricular activity. Industry are ready to integrate, but there is always that not too much of um, attention from the education institute as a whole. They are keeping a drone technology as a extracurricular domain till now.
But I saw that the drones are used a lot in the defense now.
Yeah.
So, so which is not really an extracurricular activity by any standard. So, would
No,
you like to throw some image on how the world should know more about how even the defense forces are using the drones?
right. So defense forces are using drones from anything from just surveillance to even kamikazes and field reconnaissance. So, and the why majorly defense forces are using drones, because there is no proper, there are no restrictions, there are no regulations. They have a separate, window to operate, and this technology is unmanned. So there is less risk of humans, less danger to humans. You can, operate it from your base camp, and that's why there's a huge advantage of using drones in a defense application. But when it comes to operating a drone in civilian airspace, obviously we have to take care of many scenarios. We have to take care of the zones that should not be a zone where a critical infrastructure like parliament is there, or a drone a aircraft should not be operating. There are many accident kind of scenarios. There are many critical information and secret VIP places where you should not operate. So that's why there's still limitations to operate in a civilian environment. But if you talk about career as a whole, uh, drones, uh, drone engineers, drone R&D, drone pilotings are what is majorly demanding roles in the current present scenarios.
Okay, thank you, Alina.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, Alina, can I ask you a quick question? Like we have some 9 minutes left.
Yes, sure.
Yeah, so there are quite a few challenges here, right? One is the policy, second is integrating this into airspace, third, maybe the risk of this, and then the privacy issues if you're flying over civilian airspace. So, how do you
Right.
think this would be incorporated into, say, smart city, smart drone city concepts with all these challenges, like in the future? Mm.
Smart drone city concept, as in, are you talking about construction of smart drone cities, or now the drone being operated, whatever you see in the movies about futures where drones are, just flying outside your window, like a air taxi?
No, like I'm talking
What?
about people use, yeah, like air taxis and things in urban areas where civilization is there. Like, so it's a
Right.
risk to people if it falls on them as well, right? Now you see a
Correct.
lot of drones falling in a lot of places, and the risk hasn't been taken into account for. So
Correct.
that's
Very true. So the major factor which requires this kind of smart city infrastructure you are asking is UTM, unmanned traffic management policy, which is still currently in making. It is not refined yet, not implemented yet. So there will be a time in future where we have a proper just like how we have aircraft manned policy for traffic management. There will be a separate unmanned traffic management policies. There will be drone ports everywhere, and in such scenarios, the full air traffic for unmanned aerial systems will be regulated. And this can only happen when DGCA and Civil Aviation of Authorities of India, or maybe the globally, they will relax the regulation and allow BVLOS operations. So if you see currently globally, BVLOS operations for drone is still not allowed because there is no proper UTM policy. That's why even if we have the technology with us to operate drones for, logistic application like delivering food, delivering medicines, we are still not doing it. It's not because we don't have the technology, it's because we don't have that kind of infrastructure to operate such technology.
Yeah, thank you. And what
Yeah.
about for women's safety? Like, I've been checking out this can be used for personal women's safety as well. So have you explored that? Do you have any thoughts on that?
Women personal safety as no, I mean, see, it can be used by traffic police for crowd management, continuous surveillance. So if every places, every district, every small, towns are traffic police are started using these drones for surveillance, obviously then they will be able to monitor more properly, because if you see security cameras which are installed in the street, they still have a blind spot, but drones cover all 360 proper coverage. So in such scenarios where police department, law enforcement can use drones extensively properly in a regulated airspace, obviously not just women, overall safety for anyone can be, achieved.
Yeah, so at Goa, the police are already using it. So I don't know why it hasn't been implemented in other places yet. You have any leads on that?
It's also about budget. There's not budget, always a limited budget with different departments, and it's not just about not using the technology, but it's about budget as well. So if you have the limited budget, they are not purchasing the technology and they prefer, using it the manual way. And I will always say drones are just a add-on. They are not the replacement. They should always be the add-on. There will should always be a manned, manned, like how we have a commercial pilot, I mean flying, even if everything is autopilot and there's still a pilot sitting behind to take over anytime. So drones are just an add-on to the whatever is existing over the traditional method, and people are required to, modulate that. But what as per your question, if there are few places are using drones, few are not, it's there can be many things, compliance constraint, budget constraint. But still, if you see, when the first draft drone policy came in 2018, and then the first drone rules which came in 2021, there's an extensive increase of usage. I mean, when I joined my degree in 2000, back in 2014, drones were just all hobbyists. We had clubs and colleges where we were just developing drones, RC flying, and soon and slowly, when I graduated, there was a boom in the industry. I realized, okay, now this is the right place to go in. So by 2030, if everybody is saying, and our own honorable prime minister is saying, India will be a drone hub. So definitely we're going to see more further development and the use of drones more into all these sectors.
Yeah,
I
thank you.
hope I have answered your question.
Sorry?
I hope I answered your question.
Yes, yes, I have one more. I'm sorry if I'm overshooting
No
with the
problem.
questions. Yeah, so there's one very important concept which has come out in the foresight area, which is about swarm drones. So there was this case
Yes.
in Libya where this drone was automatically detecting. So it was like find and finish kind of a mission where it autonomously just can finish the person up. So don't you think there should be a human in the loop situation here or something? There has to be some accountability and control in such a situation. So what's your take
Yeah.
on drones in the defense?
The drone swarms are also have they have the drone swarms also have different types of technology. So there can be a drone swarm where there's one master drone and it's completely monitors the other drones. Other drones are called slave drones, and there can be a swarm where everyone is taking an independent decision. But there's always a manual override. There's always a manual override. So. Uh, I'm not sure what situation you're talking about, but currently, if you see drone swarms are usually, if you talk about civilian aerospace, they're using for being used for drone air shows. And for defense aerospace, they are used for critical operations like disaster responses, where there is a disaster somewhere, and now the fleet of drones are deployed, and then they go to the site. They search for humans, which are stuck under the rubbles, or in a disaster-stricken spaces, and then they relieve it. So that first responses are being used in for drone swarm. But there's always a manual override. That's what I told you, that drones are not just something to be, used independent of. There's always a human intervention. The man person is always sitting behind the screen and taking, controlling the full scenario. So no drone is allowed to take a decision independently. There's always a manual override.
I was talking in terms of 3D self-replicating drones, which is a futuristic concept.
Yeah,
So
3D self-replicating phone is something which has not come up yet. But I'm sure this is only meant for scenarios for defense airspace, not for civilian airspace.
yes, in defense, like if you have anything you want to say about it, like because even in defense, it can be the effects can be catastrophic. Like we have, like listed it under catastrophic existential risks.
Existential is like how are you like what kind of risk do you think can be even
If a
in a
swarm,
battlefield scenarios?
yeah, if it's a swarm of self-replicating drones which are 3D printed, which can be assembled or modular just on the go, and there's no
Right.
human in the loop, it could take down massive areas, people and civilization and a lot of things because there are swarms of them. So that is the concern.
I mean, if those drones are meant for kamikaze operations, then like there's nothing to say in that. In a battlefield scenarios, anything can happen. Obviously, there will be repercussions, but that if it's meant for kamikaze, it will do the kamikaze. Are you talking about the scenarios where suddenly from the belly of an aircraft, multiple troops of small 3D printed drones comes out, and like something which happened in Ukraine war?
Yes, it's based on the Ukraine one and the Libya.
Yeah,
There's a case in Libya where it was find and finish was the mission, but that was one drone. So if you have self-replicating ones like that, now it
right, right.
logically, if you look at neural networks, if it just goes with, yeah, there's a better probability to go with I finish off these people. They have a better chance of
Yeah.
survival. These people don't. That would just take
Mm-hmm.
some decisions by itself, which may not be ethical. So we enlist it under ethical issues as well. So as
Right.